I took a pregnancy test and it was positive. My husband and I were not trying to have a baby. We were not ready. I had been on birth control for 5 years. How could this happen? Then I looked closely at my pill pack. The pills looked different. I had them tested. They were not birth control. They were sugar pills. And I knew exactly who had replaced them. My name is Hannah, and I am 30 years old. I live in Portland, Oregon with my husband Kyle, who is 32. We have been married for 3 years. Kyle works as an accountant, and I work as a veterinary technician. We have a good life. We are financially stable. We have careers we enjoy. We have a nice apartment. We are happy. We are also very clear that we are not ready for children yet. We want kids eventually, maybe in 3 or 4 years. But right now, we want to focus on our careers. We want to travel. We want to enjoy being married without the responsibility of children. I have been on birth control since I was 25. The same pill, same dosage, same routine. I take it every night at 9 p.m. I have never missed a dose in 5 years. I am extremely careful about it because I do not want to get pregnant before we are ready. Kyle's mother, Sandra, is 63 years old. She is obsessed with grandchildren. Absolutely obsessed. From the moment Kyle and I got engaged, Sandra started asking when we were going to give her grandbabies. At our wedding, she made a toast about how excited she was to become a grandmother soon. On every holiday, she would make comments about how her house was too quiet without the pitter-patter of little feet. Kyle and I were always clear with her. We are not ready for kids yet. We will have them when the time is right for us. Please stop pressuring us. But Sandra would not stop. She would send me articles about fertility declining with age. She would tell me about friends whose daughters waited too long and now could not have children. She would buy baby clothes and say she was just getting a head start for when we finally came to our senses. It was exhausting, invasive, disrespectful. But it got worse about 6 months ago. Sandra started coming over to our apartment more often. She would drop by unannounced. She would offer to clean or organize things for us. She was always very sweet about it, very helpful. I thought she was just trying to be a good mother-in-law, trying to bond with me. I appreciated the help even though the surprise visits were annoying. I had no idea what she was really doing. About 3 months ago, I started feeling off. Nauseous in the mornings, tired all the time, my breasts were sore, but I did not think anything of it. I thought maybe I was fighting off a virus, maybe I was stressed from work. Then I missed my period. That got my attention. I am very regular. I never miss a period. I took a pregnancy test. Positive. I took 3 more tests. All positive. I was pregnant. I sat on the bathroom floor staring at those tests completely in shock. How could this happen? I had been so careful with my birth control. I never missed a dose. I took it at the same time every day. This should not be possible. Kyle came home from work and I showed him the tests. He was just as shocked as I was. How did this happen, he asked. I do not know, I said. I have been taking my pills every single day. Maybe the pills failed, he suggested. Is not there like a 1% failure rate? I guess I said. But I have been on this pill for 5 years. Why would it fail now? We sat together trying to process what this meant. We were not ready for a baby. We had plans. We had goals. This was not part of the timeline. But we also knew that if I was pregnant, we would figure it out. We would adjust our plans. We would make it work. I made an appointment with my doctor to confirm the pregnancy. She did a blood test and an ultrasound. I was definitely pregnant. About 8 weeks along. 8 weeks. That meant I had gotten pregnant around the time Sandra had started coming over more often, around the time she had started being so helpful and present. Something about that timeline bothered me, but I could not put my finger on what. My doctor asked me about my birth control. You said you take it every day at the same time. Yes, I said. Every night at 9 p.m. I have an alarm on my phone. I never miss it. And you have not had any stomach issues, vomiting or diarrhea that might have affected absorption. No, nothing like that. She looked puzzled. Well, sometimes these things just happen. No birth control is 100% effective. You are just one of the unlucky ones, I suppose. I left the appointment feeling unsettled. Something felt wrong, but I could not explain what. That night, I went to take my pill at 9 p.m. like always. I pulled the pack out of my nightstand drawer where I kept it. I popped out the pill for that day, and I actually looked at it. Really looked at it. The pill looked different. Slightly different color, slightly different size. The markings on it were not quite right. I pulled out an older empty pack I had saved. I compared the pills. They were definitely different. My heart started racing. These were not my birth control pills. These were something else. I called my pharmacy immediately. I described the pills I had been taking. The pharmacist asked me to read the markings on them. I did. She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Those are not birth control pills. Those markings do not match any contraceptive I know of. They might be vitamins or sugar pills." "Where did you get them?" "From my prescription," I said. "At least I thought I did." "You need to bring those pills in right now," she said. "We need to test them. If someone has tampered with your medication, that is a serious crime." I grabbed the pill pack and drove to the pharmacy. They took the pills and sent them to a lab for testing. The results came back the next day. Sugar pills. Completely inactive. No hormones, no contraceptive properties. Just compressed sugar designed to look like pills. Someone had replaced my birth control with fake pills. That is why I got pregnant. That is why the pills failed. Because they were not real pills. I felt sick. Someone had deliberately sabotaged my contraception. Someone had intentionally tried to get me pregnant without my consent, and I knew exactly who it was. Sandra, my mother-in-law. The woman who had been coming over to my apartment unannounced for the past 6 months. The woman who had access to my bathroom. The woman who was obsessed with grandchildren. She had replaced my pills. I was sure of it. I called Kyle immediately. I told him everything. About the pills being fake. About the pharmacy testing them. About my suspicion that his mother had done this. Kyle did not want to believe it. "My mom would not do that," he said. "That is insane. That is illegal. She would not go that far." "Think about it, Kyle," I said. "She has been coming over constantly. She has had access to our bathroom. She knew where I kept my pills. And she is desperate for grandchildren. Who else would have done this?" Kyle was quiet. I could tell he was processing. Trying to reconcile the mother he knew with what I was accusing her of. "We need proof," he finally said. "We cannot accuse her without proof, so we set a trap." I bought a new pack of birth control, real pills from the pharmacy. I marked each pill with a tiny dot using a permanent marker. Dots so small you would not notice unless you were looking for them. I put the pack in my nightstand drawer. Then we installed a hidden camera in our bedroom, a tiny camera pointed at the nightstand, and we waited. 2 days later, Sandra called. Said she was in the neighborhood and wanted to drop off some groceries she had bought for us. Kyle told her we were not home, but she could let herself in. We had given her a spare key months ago. We watched the camera feed from Kyle's phone while we sat in a coffee shop a few blocks away. Sandra came into the apartment. She went straight to the bedroom. She opened the nightstand drawer. She pulled out my pill pack, and then we watched as she replaced the pills. She had a bottle of fake pills with her. She carefully popped out my real pills and replaced them with the fake ones, matching the days, making sure everything looked normal. She was calm, practiced, like she had done this many times before. When she was done, she put the pack back exactly where it had been. She closed the drawer. She left the bedroom. She left the apartment. Kyle and I sat in the coffee shop staring at the video. His mother had just tampered with my medication right in front of our eyes. "I am going to be sick," Kyle said. "We have it on video," I said. "We have proof. She cannot deny this." We went to the police that same day. We showed them the video. We showed them the pills that had been tested. We filed a report for reproductive coercion and tampering with medication. The detective assigned to our case was a woman in her 40s. She looked at the evidence and her expression hardened. "This is one of the most disturbing cases I have seen," she said. "Your mother-in-law deliberately sabotaged your birth control to force you to get pregnant against your will. That is reproductive abuse. That is criminal." She asked if we wanted to press charges. Kyle hesitated. "She is my mother," he said. She is a criminal, I said. She violated my body. She took away my choice. She needs to face consequences. Kyle looked at me. Then he nodded. You are right. Press charges. The police arrested Sandra 2 days later. She was charged with tampering with medication and reproductive coercion, both felonies. Sandra was shocked. She could not believe we had turned her in. She called Kyle crying, begging him to drop the charges, saying she was just trying to help us, that we would thank her later when we had a beautiful baby. Kyle told her what she did was unforgivable, that she had committed a crime, that she needed to accept the consequences. Sandra tried to turn the family against us. She told everyone that we were being dramatic, that she had made a small mistake, that we were ruining her life over nothing. But when the video came out, her story fell apart. Everyone could see exactly what she had done, how calculated it was, how deliberate. Kyle's father divorced her. He said he could not be married to someone capable of that level of manipulation and violation. Sandra's siblings stopped speaking to her. Her friends dropped her. She became a pariah. Good, she deserved it. As for me, I had to make a decision about the pregnancy. I was 8 weeks along when I found out. By the time we discovered what Sandra had done and dealt with the legal aftermath, I was 12 weeks along. Kyle and I talked about our options. We could terminate the pregnancy. We could continue it. It was entirely up to me. I struggled with the decision. Part of me wanted to terminate it. This pregnancy was forced on me. It was the result of a crime. I did not choose it. But another part of me felt connected to this baby already. It was not the baby's fault that Sandra had done what she did. After a lot of thought and a lot of therapy, I decided to continue the pregnancy, but on my terms, with my choice, with my autonomy reclaimed. I am 7 months pregnant now. We are having a daughter. We have a nursery set up. We are as ready as we can be. But Sandra will never meet her granddaughter, ever. We have a restraining order against her. She is not allowed within 500 feet of us. She will never be part of this child life. Sandra was convicted. She pleaded guilty to avoid trial. She was sentenced to 2 years in prison and 5 years probation. She will be a registered offender. Her crime will follow her forever. People ask me if I feel guilty, if I regret pressing charges against my husband's mother, if I think I went too far, and the answer is always no. What Sandra did was not a mistake. It was not a lapse in judgment. It was a calculated violation of my body and my rights. She deliberately took away my reproductive choice. She forced a pregnancy on me. That is not something you forgive. That is not something you let slide because family. Sandra spent months planning this, buying fake pills that looked like my real ones, coming over repeatedly to replace them, lying to my face while sabotaging my contraception, watching me get pregnant knowing exactly what she had done. She took away my choice, my autonomy, my right to decide when and if I would have children. And she did it all because she wanted a grandchild and did not care what I wanted. That is evil. That is criminal. And she is paying the price for it. Kyle's relationship with his mother is destroyed. He has not spoken to her since her arrest. He says he does not know who she is anymore. That the mother he thought he knew would never have done something like this. His father has been supportive. He apologized to me repeatedly, said he had no idea Sandra was capable of this. He has been helping us prepare for the baby. He will be in our daughter's life, even if Sandra never will be. My family was horrified when they found out. My mother wanted to drive to Portland and confront Sandra herself. My father wanted to file a civil lawsuit on top of the criminal charges. They are both fiercely protective of me and furious about what happened. The pregnancy has been difficult, not physically, but emotionally. I struggle with feeling like my body was violated, like this baby was forced on me even though I chose to continue the pregnancy. Therapy has helped. My therapist reminds me that I made the choice to continue, that this is my baby, that Sandra does not get to take this experience from me. And she is right. This is my pregnancy, my baby, my choice. Sandra may have taken my birth control, but she did not take my power. I am taking it back. My name is Hannah. I am 30 years old. My mother-in-law replaced my birth control pills with sugar pills to force me to get pregnant. I caught her on camera. I pressed charges. She is in prison now. And I am 7 months pregnant with a daughter who will grow up knowing that her mother fought for her rights. That her mother refused to let anyone take her power. That her mother made the choice to have her on her own terms. Sandra thought she could control me. She thought she could manipulate my body to get what she wanted. She thought I would just accept it and move on. She was wrong. To anyone who has experienced reproductive coercion or has had their birth control tampered with, this is not okay. This is a crime. You have rights, you have choices, and you deserve justice. Do not let anyone tell you this is not a big deal. Do not let anyone minimize what happened to you. What Sandra did to me was assault. It was a violation, and it was illegal. She is paying for it now, in prison, with a criminal record, with her family destroyed, with her reputation ruined, and I am moving forward, with my daughter, with my husband, with my life, on my terms. Sandra took my birth control, but she did not take my future, she did not take my strength, and she sure as hell did not take my power. I took it all back, and I am never letting anyone take it away again.